Start recording. All right, this is going to be charting for tomorrow, Tuesday, March 3rd. Uh, and yeah, so anyways, here we go. First thing I want to do is get rid of not that. Hello. Why is it doing that? I don't. What the heck, man? Boom. Thank you. Really? There we go. All right. Sweet. Little SMT, little previous day high SMT. Oh, come on. Oh, Yodi Yodi. What's up, dude? What's good? Just started. Just started. Oh, my computer's like lagging. Probably from being too awesome, but that's just a theory I have going. Do. No soup for you. Are you charting too? Okay, because I swear in the morning I better see you that you charted, dude. There we go. All right. do. Now that we have all of our new data here, looks like this. Back to where it goes here. Thank you. Excuse me. Now that we have our data, now I want to get rid of replay and see where. YM's already there. ES is already there. Right. Previous day candle, right? Rebalance. We're already at EQ. I feel like yeah, we're back in the model. We're back in this because we never just that yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Back inside back. Okay. Four. We were opening low into the in today's OB earlier. Boom. See right here. This was the OB CSD that we got from London, right? 6 a.m. Right? 6 a.m. closed above. Then 10 o'clock opened into it. So now we're rebalancing. right? We rebalance to previous day EQ, what PD array is located at previous day EQ. In this case, we have this 4-hour gap plus an OB here, right? So we can draw this out. And then if I want to figure out where EQ of this leg is, right? I'm going to take the low prior to manipulation and the high prior to manipulation. Oh, look, EQ happens to land at this low, right above this PD array, which in NQ's case was the previous manipulated low that created SMT here and here, right? Balance. Rebalance point. So is NQ the only one? NQ is the only one that's not reached discount yet. I wonder why. Could be holding to open low into, right? But we'll we'll have to see. So we have a 4-hour BISI here. And for me, I only mark PD arrays as well, BISIs, and so in discount of whatever range we're working in, right? Because if there's a PD like a gap that's not in discount, then obviously we're not going to seek that, right? Because we seek premium to discount. That's why we seek that 4-hour gap today that we put on the chart last night, because it was in discount of the previous day's range. Okay. This I want to mark as a key level because we have not hit it yet. We hit this, and now I feel like rid of that. Yeah. All right. Any questions? I don't feel like we need this from yesterday anymore. Right? We just gotta you just keep it. You gotta keep it simple. You know, when you start overcomplicating it, and you start. I was talking about this last night. You know, like you gotta have the higher time frame narrative so that you can focus on the actual range. You know, not get distracted by the you know price action to the left that isn't currently relevant. You know. Oh, this guy in. This guy. Nice. See, this is important, right? Like, look, like people, you might miss this, but like, notice that by having previous week low here, like this paints a clear picture that we've built a strong 4-hour PD array, right? Smack dab on top of it. You see that? This was created with a CSD over previous week low, right? Here, over. That's not random, right? That's the market telling us that we've created this bullish PD array, right? Because this is low of week, so to speak, or whatever the case may be, right? So we pay attention to that, right? This gives us insight. It's Monday, right? But this gives us insight. Furthermore, we're in what? An open low, right? Above EQ, right? So like you can see how this starts to tell us direction, right? Unless somehow in the morning we wake up to open highs, right? Thinking of being short doesn't make sense here, you know? And we use that higher. I'm on the 4 hour, but I don't need to like be concerned with what's going on over here because we've got 4 hour CSD. We're inside previous week low, and furthermore, we have monthly SMT, right? So that's why we just keep it simple. Boom. Yeah. So good question. Yeah. So remember we had talked about that, and I said, let me just screenshot this, and I'll go over that right now. Do. There we go. Oh, that's gonna be a bad screenshot. The thing. There we go. Oh, it didn't disappear. So remember, I was pulling one for each. I'd pull one using the full daily candles range. Just paste this in here. Here we go. So like sick lag. Okay. So like remember, if it's an expansion candle, for me, I don't know, I was just testing, right? Like if we had an expansion candle like this, I would measure body, right? When we have short wick, right? But when we have like manipulation, or instance, this candle here, right? I measure the full thing when you can't. Yeah. And like furthermore, like in this case, look, I can measure, here's EQ, right? Previous day's body EQ. And I also put on previous day EQ. But if we put on just body, right, we can see that this has rebalance, right? But if I look at on a lower time frame like this, if I had previous day EQ body only here, right? Then even though that could be correct, the reality is like look at remember where discount of the range is like this one's not in. So like therefore I wouldn't want to use it. Even though right now you can see we are using this. This is not right. We've stopped here at previous day EQ using just the body here. So this is a relevant level, right? But the reality is even if we hold here and it's a relevant level, we still might open into down here, right? You see? So it just really depends. When we have manipulation on both ends of the wick, like here, I take the full thing. If it's like this, I take just the body. But lately I've been doing just the whole thing to see how levels land when I come down to the lower time frame. Does that make sense? Yeah, like this here. Like this previous EQ is located under this previous SMT 4 hour low, right? Which on NQ has not been manipulated yet, right? Even though, right, we only look at NQYM, right? Or I do, right? For who's leading, right? YM has manipulated this low, right? Okay, NQ did not. Great, but that's just this candle. So now because it manipulated, does it rebalance? But great, but I want to know about this low because it's resting right above this previous day EQ in discount of the overall range, right? Does that make sense? For me, and really is like the key level. The key level. Look, you see, if I had used body only here, this is not in discount, right, of the range. And this, as we know with NQ, is unacceptable when it comes to expansion, right? So going to sleep right now, what is this already? What you see how this already starts to build bias? We already know on the lower time frame, this is Asia right now, right? What is it doing? It's accumulating, right? Above a relevant level, right? You see how that we're building the framework, right? This is why when guys are not charting at night, and guys are not building bias like this, like having narrative from one day to the next, and then no matter what happens, hopefully your bias is correct, like today, right? And that's going to lead us into bias for tomorrow. You know what I mean? But if you don't ever do that, and you're not narrating and have that narrative, then like you see how every day you come in and you're like, you're just guessing or like you're hoping, but you really don't have like conviction because you really don't understand order flow, you know? And again, this is just me, I mean, like I've been working on identifying key levels and discount for like months now, and it seems to be working, specifically the ones that I've been drawing out. So that's why. And whether we hit this tomorrow in an open loan expand or we run up all day and then come down to it, I put it there because I know that the market needs to return here, and based on where we're at in time will tell me likely when. And because I know 4-hour swing points create low of days, right? That also means, right, we need a 4-hour manipulated, protected low, so to speak, right, somewhere. And right now, we don't have one. So a good place to put a protected low would be where? In discount of previous day, right? If we want to expand, you know? So anyways, that's my belief anyways, so this, like I said last night, who knows though, is like it looks good. Looks good, you know. This, that's the OB. I want to get rid of these temporarily so I can take a picture of this. This is that OB. I want my key level. And I want, there we go. Nice. Solid. Solid copy. All right, let's put that up there. Boom. All right, so we have daily. Oh, and we have 4-hour with a potential key level. Let's go 15 real quick just to take a peek. Yep. You see? Unmanipulated. Unmanipulated. When you come down here, it really begins to become clear where rebalance points are, at least in my opinion. You know, like how many times have we seen this? You know, is this, this is gonna get left alone for AM, or does London take it? Right. Asia will consolidate, and then London takes it, closes back inside the range or above, right? Then we get right London reversal, right? Or we get close above, and then we use Asia as the breaker. It's like a billion things we've seen 100 times, or the other way around, 100 things we've seen a billion times, right? Just keep it simple. This is what I do. Like I'm on the 15, but like I don't speculate that close for the next day because who knows what could happen, But in this current moment, right? In this current moment, I know just looking at this piece of price action, right? That in order to right, we can rebalance because this took the low, right? But at some point, this low needs to get taken. You know what I mean? This low must be taken, right? So is that if it gets taken, then we'll run buy side, right? But if we take out buy side, right, then this low has to be taken because a manipulated low where SMT is, right, or a protected low is a protected low until the draw's been met. And then once the draw's been met, right, that's where we come after the previously protected low. You know? So at least that's how I see it, So we SMT here, then we rebalance. Let's say we take out Asia high, that's buy side. then it'll come and take the previously protected low, or that's how this is how I see it. But anyways, right? Keep it simple. Previous day high, previous day low, EQ, right? Find PD arrays located in discount, right? Now I gotta put these PD arrays back on because they were annoying me in the right. We find PD arrays in discount and then we wait. This is where guys get it wrong. You know, trading once you understand it's a patience game. We wait. We right. Uh, Rule number one is for anything before any model or trade has occurred is right. You must identify a higher time frame key level. Right. That's rule number one. Okay, where's that key level going to be located? It's going to be located in discount of X range. Okay, well, if we're on the daily, that's previous day. If we're on the weekly, that's previous week, right? Okay. And then we just fractalize. But once we have a key level, you have to build conviction that you understand the market will hit that level, which means when we come in the morning, if I have a key level that's been identified on NQ or ES or I mean NQ or YM, right? Then I must be patient and wait for time, right? And if I'm correct and my key level is correct, right? Then I must be patient and time when it is ready will align, right? We'll stop just shy of the low, at 45, 10 o'clock will open low, take it, and then come back inside the range, right? Again, seen this pattern of the model 100 times, right? But if it doesn't, that doesn't mean I'm wrong, right? That means I have to wait. Time is not right. Maybe we manipulate further and then we put in a model to come take it, right? Like you have to trust and like build that, you know what I mean? So like that's for me, that's how I keep it simple. I just look for key levels and PD arrays located in discount of X range, and then I wait. And and then I break it down in the morning, right? We using the GXT, right? If there's a reversal prior to driver, right? Then continuation, no reversal, then driver reversal, right? And then just keep it simple. Do we have a reversal prior to the morning open? Well, in this case, we did, right? We had the reversal happen down here, right? Closed it at what top by Asia session end, right? So reversal occurred prior to driver, right? So that means driver 8:30, 9:30, or you want to quote unquote call driver 10, that's fine, right? Any of those, it's just continuation because we already had reversal prior to driver, right? And then that's why I say you got to keep it simple, like the model works every time, what changes is like we decide to change the narrative in our head because we become impatient. What's up, dude? So anyways, this like I said, this is for me, this is how I see it using, everything I've learned from G Truth and then with GXT, but it's like, yeah, it's like, okay, it's like this is all that matters. This is the range, G really taught us. And furthermore, when we get rid of manipulation, it's like this is all that matters. Yeah, but the thing is until you do it and you go draw it for yourself, until you back test, right? And until you're doing it day in and day out, and you're saying, like you saw me do it, sometimes NQ will have the manipulated low like this, right? And other assets won't, or maybe NQ does not, right? And it's not always as easy. And so then sometimes I end up having to use this low, right? Or like a different part of the low, right? And by doing that, it's like taught me, like how to really find it. But once you know it, it's like that's all that matters. Anyways. This is what I'm seeing for tomorrow to Mananas. Potential, at least right now. Put this back. Oh, template, busy. Slider over. And then slap this guy. And the only reason, even though we have SMT in the gap right now, the reason that I would speculate that this key level is correct, right? and will get hit is because it is resting above it, you know, above EQ. It's not, it has not reached discount. It is not. Okay, so this is a 4-hour BISI, but I don't really want to rewrite that. But I will, because that's me being lazy. So let's not do that. Let's not start the week off. H4 BISI. Oh, don't need those anymore. All right, nice. And I already took my screenshots. But yeah, that's this is what I'm seeing. You know, like I said, we had the CSD, right? 10 o'clock opened into previous day low, previous week low. We opened into the top of the OB here, right? Okay, we've taken X range, previous day EQ, identified a PD array in discount of that range, right? And then furthermore, for me, I've identified a key level that for me has been unmanipulated that's resting above discount, right? Which happens to be this low that we're stacking right now. And this is how I identify my key levels to align with time every day, right? So now, and if that level happened to be unchecked here as well, and you've seen this in my journals, is like there will be days where all three assets have that key level, you know, and sometimes I have a key level right at a high and a low, you know, because that key level that was previously manipulated, we run away from. That doesn't mean, you know, that means maybe not this week we hit it, but we will go back to it. So then and when we start to expand, I know that that's the draw, you know. But the market, right, has to keep it simple. It must rebalance always, right? I realize like ICT, like he like in that the first two lessons, you know, he like make write the list of 3 reasons. It's like, but it's so early on, you like forget, and then you start learning for all X amount of time about all this stuff to add, and in reality, is like the biggest gem of all gems, which I didn't even understand until with G, right? Is like no matter what, X, whatever the range is, like it's going nowhere until it rebalances, you know? And so by keeping it simple like that, it's like, oh, well, okay, well, that means this range we can't get out of until we go to EQ. So, you know, that's how I do it. Any questions? Anything you guys want me to go over? Oh, hold on, dude. My bad. I didn't see. Yo, what's up, dude? All good, bro. I always forget about the chat. We were looking at gold earlier too, dude. I gotta figure that out. I want to start to like look at um gold and silver. Let me stop this.